Hello everybody, it's Josie here. I'm going to be doing a book review and then also going to be giving a few other recs kind of based on this book. So some kind of dark academia, I guess, recommendations for both film and books. So the book I'm talking about today is this one over here, and it's The Truants by Kate Weinberg. Now, this book has just come out, so it's a brand new release. This is kind of a smash or trash review for me. And I was really looking forward to reading this because it was kind of on my list of things to read when I read the synopsis of it. So I'm also not going to lie that when I saw the cover has a hearse on it, and I don't get many books with hearses on the cover. I couldn't resist. So, first of all, the cover, really intriguing. The title, The Truants, I thought was really interesting. And then when I started reading some of the synopses and what people were saying about it, I was like, I must pick this up. So, the main thing that was said about this book was that it is for people that like A Secret History by Donna Tartt, and it has that kind of dark academia feel. So, that really had me hooked because I love that. That kind of dark psychological academia setting, thriller type thing. And then what I also love is anything set at university. I feel like there's far too few books actually set at universities, and actually in academia, if I'm totally honest. I love that kind of setting because I think it really lends itself to kind of psychological thrillers, kind of a bit of darkness, societies, that kind of thing, and all that good stuff. I love that. So what The Truants is about, so you can see on the cover there you have basically a triangle, and it is all about, I guess, triangles and people's relationships. So you have the main character, Jess, who comes to university, and then she meets her roommate, and her roommate, is this just sort of crazy kind of socialite type of girl, typical English upper class. Now this is set in England, in the UK, and they kind of become friends, sort of almost unlikely friends, and then they meet a couple of boys, and they kind of form a friendship group. But the main reason that Jess actually came to the university to study, and they are studying, so she's studying English mainly, and the reason she came to this university was for the book The Truants. So she was given this book as a Christmas present by her uncle, I think it was, and she read it and she adored this book, and then she wanted to find out more about the author, and she found out that the author was actually lecturing a course on Agatha Christie at this university. And she was like, I have to go into university, I have to be taught by this professor, this kind of, and she's seen sort of as a bit of a kind of a rock star professor, and kind of a rock star writer, because she's been very famous with this novel, and people just kind of have this sort of rock star almost-esque impression of this professor. And this all kind of sets itself up wonderfully. I will read you the first line of the book, which kind of had me hooked. So, first lines, they're important. So the first line of this book, and it's the prologue of the book, is, "It's hard to say who I fell in love with first, because it was love. I think you'll agree when I've finished telling you. It was Alec. I longed to kiss Alec, whose face I studied when no one else was looking." It's just one of those things that I read those first lines and I was like, yeah, I need to read this. I need to continue. I need to find out what happened here, and I need to see how these people interconnect. I love the fact that there was kind of a bit of a psychological thriller element to it. I love the mysterious professor. She's awesome. And, kind of that sort of secrets and lies scenarios, like, do we know who these people are? Are they telling us the truth? Are they representing themselves correctly? Or is there more to it? And I really liked it. So this is a definite kind of a smash review for me. I love this book, and obviously reading this and kind of having it compared to A Secret History by Donna Tartt, I was like, well, what other sort of dark academia style books can I recommend, and also films? So the first one that is obviously The Secret History by Donna Tartt. It's the same kind of secrets and lies sort of thing, but I would also say If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, and I actually prefer If We Were Villains. I really love that. And again, you kind of have that professor element in it, that sort of kind of band of people, maybe again from different kind of ways of life and backgrounds and that, kind of a central mystery, a death, that kind of thing. Really, really good book. Highly recommend that one if you haven't read it yet. Another one, so then I was sort of thinking, oh, there's more. There's not that many, unfortunately. Seriously, I think I need to write one. But one that I think kind of fits that vein as well is The Furies, by Katie Lowe. I really love The Furies. I think I've mentioned a few times that I adore that book. But again, you kind of have that setting of I think it's also English department and a bit of a mysterious professor and kind of a bit of a secret society going on, and these girls kind of, getting involved in things, and it's within that kind of campus setting, which I love. There's another book series by Maureen Johnson, and I, for the life of me, can't remember the title of the first book, but the second book is called The Vanishing Stair, and it also, now they are younger, so I don't believe it's university, I think it's still sort of high school more, but it's also this kind of exclusive boarding school, campus sort of setting. There's a murder, there's a story of what was happening in the past on this kind of estate in this exclusive school and what's happening now, and again, sort of there's sort of secrets and lies and murders and around this academic setting, which I really love. And then there's another book here, and I've actually got it here because I pulled it off my shelf, is Bunny by Mona Awad. I love this book. I think I've mentioned it before. It is messed up as hell, but again, you've got Samantha, who's the main character here, and she goes to this university college to study writing, and it's all set in the kind of the literary English section of the school, and she's in this group of, they're only girls in this year, where they are all doing creative writing, and there's this kind of group of, I don't know, like cool girls, mean girls, called the Bunnies. She calls them the Bunnies, and they have this like secret society that's really bizarre, and they get together and they write really weird sexualized fiction. They tell each other's really odd stories. There's some ritual sacrifice going on here, and this book is a trip, but it's kind of again in that same vein, but it is a trip all on its own as well. And then I was thinking about sort of dark academia films. So one of the ones that I really love, and actually a film that I studied when I was at school, was Dead Poets Society. And I feel it kind of fits into that vein of, again, that kind of claustrophobic school environment, that sort of, it's very much coming of age, finding yourself, tragedy, dealing with that, and that kind of enigmatic professor who, teaches you something and makes you break out of the way you've been thinking. I love that film. There's another book that I haven't read, but a lot of people say it's really good and is in that dark academia vein. It's Joanne Harris, who I have read. I've read quite a few of her books. So she wrote Chocolat, Pale Sister, that one was really good. I think it's Pale Sister Sleeps or something along those lines. Her first novel was really good, but she wrote all the Chocolat books and the follow-up books to that series. But she's written a book called Gentlemen and Players, and that one is also set at kind of an exclusive boarding school, and I think it's more from the perspective of the teacher, someone teaching there, and it's kind of also got some dark mystery to it. So that one sounds really good, and I think I'm putting that on my list of things to read. And then kind of back to the films, the other one, so I was thinking of Dead Poets Society, and another one that kind of made me think about that was Kill Your Darlings. So that is kind of, it's a tale of Allen Ginsberg and John Kerouac and William Burroughs, and it features Harry Potter himself, Daniel Radcliffe, in a very different role, but I really love that film. It's kind of, I would say it's a slower, more indie film. It's queer as well. Also, Bunny's got some queerness in it. Obviously, The Furies by Katie Lowe has some queerness in it, which is fantastic as well. But yeah, that film is really good, and I think it falls under that kind of dark academia for me, in my opinion. And then the last one is this film over here, is Suspiria. There's the Dario Argento original. This is the remake of Suspiria. I think this is Dakota Fanning in it and Tilda Swinton, who I love. And this is set at a kind of exclusive Berlin dance school, and this is kind of more towards that horror side of it, which I love. Bunny as well, I'd say there's definitely horror elements, sort of supernatural, as well as The Furies is also kind of supernatural, more horror elements to them as well, but it's fabulous. And I think, again, if you're looking for something in that sort of school setting, but that's kind of in a more dark vein, then Suspiria as well. I think that's really good. So that is my that's my thoughts on it. Let me know if you've read The Truants, what you thought of it, or if you've read any of the other books, or watching the films, or if you have any recommendations on Dark Academia. I'd love to know. And thank you all again for watching. Hope you're all well and safe, and I will speak to you all again very soon. Bye.